Warning, this episode of LMM contains flashing lights, like a lot of flashing lights. But that withstanding, today I see lots of flashing lights, get stuck getting out of a cart, and see the best of agricultural engineering.
Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM. Today I'm in Burnham for the Carnival, where these contraptions jump through the streets.
Now, for any of you who are here for this event, you'll realise that the music that you're hearing now is not the same that was coming from this particular cart. And that's because they're all using music that I can't get away with using on YouTube without receiving a copyright strike. So I've had to go through and try and find copyright-free music which is similar to that of which they were using. Hopefully it will give you the general vibe of what was going on, and still enjoy this amazing spectacle. But what exactly are these things anyway? So going back in time without all the noise, the lights and the darkness, this is what they look like normally. And this one is, well, owned, operated by one of my friends as part of the Cary Comedians. So let's go have a closer look at what this thing actually is underneath all of that. If we drop down nice and low, you can see the wheel sets of what was once upon a time a Douglas tug. And may I present you one of the most uncomfortable looking cabs I have ever come across. Because sat there, you're about, well, chest height, underneath more decorations with the visibility of, well, you can't see anything at all. My particular favourite thing is the addition of these front lights, which come straight back to dazzle you as the driver. So your driving position is here, and then tucked right behind you is the engine. Now, this isn't the original engine out of the Douglas tug. This is a Volvo TD70G out of a Volvo F7 truck. It's a 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel. I love the engineering in here. So I'm clambered in, you can see my vision forward. I can see this, and that. So I've got my wing mirror over there that shows down the side, and my wing mirror at that side that shows that side. And obviously we're going to be going very, very slowly. I've got a hand throttle here. This is my rear view camera, so I can see what I'm coupling up to for the trailer. And then I've got a handbrake down here. The engine stop is behind me just down there, and various gauges, which are as you would expect. So being sat in here, the big thing to take from this thing flat out will do about 15 miles an hour, and it should pull about 120 tonne. Now, obviously, when they're at the carnival, they're doing walking pace. It's all very slow, winding its way through. However, when they have to get from the different venues, so at the moment we're in Burnham-on-Sea, but they have to go to Bridgewater, to the other place around here, Midsomer Norton, they go all over. They have to get them to those places, and that means they have to drive them. And I can't imagine anything more terrifying than driving this at a full 15 miles an hour. It must be terrifying. You see, we have the obligatory steering knob here, but here we have the magic gear selector for an epicyclic 3-speed gearbox. And I'm told that the water thing works, how much electricals we have works, air and air all work, fuel gauge, we use a stick, and some of this works for telling us stuff. Now, of course, the hardest thing is getting in and out, which is because I didn't put doors on it. Oh no. That was, oh no. That was a little bit uncomfortable. But it's fine now. This particular one is connected to this trailer. Now, you look at it and you go, oh, look, wheels at the front. No, it's a standard Lawrie Arctic trailer, and this is a dolly, which goes on the front there. So that's got its fifth wheel just under there. This particular trailer was built in 1971 or thereabouts. It's a King trailer, and it was provided to Rover, Rover who made cars. So it's done particularly well to still be going. And I know what you're thinking, well, how would you drive this? Like, what license do you need? Well, because this is not a tractor, if it's a tractor, it gets away being an agricultural vehicle. This is not, because it is pulled by the tug. So in order to drive this thing, this cart, this float, this thing, you need an HGV Class 1. So I have Class 2, which means I can drive a lorry, but this one you need to be like Tom and be able to drive a lorry and the trailer, which I think is hilarious. On the back here, we have the generator. This is a very important part because the big thing with all of this is having lights and sounds. And when I say lights and sounds, I mean an awful lot of lights and sounds. And so, big generator. Now, this one has changed from what they had last year, because this one used to be on the back of an Iveco lorry used by the BBC. Before, they had a Rolls-Royce Jenny, which came up to this space here, which was a much bigger affair. So a couple of basics about what this is. This is a cart or a float or a carnival tractor, depending on what you want to kind of go with. These guys are one of 3 different groups who make these things, who operate the tug rather than a tractor or anything else. Although all of them use a different engine and different gearbox combo, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how they go together. Now, there are different types of cart, float, exhibition, whatever. You have this one, which is a comedy one, so this will be judged against the other comedy ones like that one. Then you have feature, then you have tableau, which are the ones where people can't move, because on this one there are performers acting on it and, you know, interacting and doing stuff, whereas the tableau ones, they've just got to stand still for the whole show. And then you have juvenile for the kids, the ones that they've got involved with. Now you understand about as much as I do about the carnival. Now, being a comedy float, the idea is to do as much tongue-in-cheek humour, as much kind of little giggles, as much as they can get away with. And there's a lot of things on here, it's like down there, which I can't really show you in any detail because it's hilarious, but possibly not family-friendly. But you know, it's full of places like this, which are real places, like I've been to the railway at Wet Wang. What I love is all the attention of detail and all of the work that goes into making something like this, which is done for the love of it more than anything else. And I think that's just hilarious, like how much time and effort goes into this. So obviously there's going to be movie bits on this, so all of that is illuminated up there. And then yeah, we have that, which will less be said about that. This was meant to turn, but the bearings failed on it, which is a shame. And then this, powered by electric motor, spins round. Obviously, we've got costumes for the performance sat on there as well, but that we're doing the spinny, 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 because that's what I love, is having all of these extra things that move and do things. And then, again, many lights across here, which will all do the flashy thing. And then up there, many, many more lights. In the generator compartment was a 6-cylinder Perkins, which is turbocharged, and the guys were going to fire it up and test the lights. So this is a more modern Jenny. You turn it on, it goes to full rev, juicing electricity, ready to go. The other big thing is every year they take this thing down, they strip it back down to the base, and they start building their new one, come up with a new concept, a new idea, and do something different with it. And of course they reuse all the bulbs, these are all LEDs now, but they take it, the same base machine, and turn it into something new. So this looks entirely different to the one that was last year. And here we go, ready for the grand turn on of the lights. The brightness from that is ridiculous. It's like the sun. It's just silly. I like this. So you can either see that exposed or my face, or if I turn this way, it illuminates that. And the speed camera up there illuminates as well. And then, theoretically, down here, we'll turn this one on, and this should turn on the lights up there as well. There we go, bang one. It's just... this is the kind of stuff that I live for. And now, we go for a start. And now that it's running, well, it's time for me to head further up to where I started this video, watching all of this stuff go past. And also, I don't know if you can see, there's lights over there. That's not a town, that's more of these. There's like 40 over there, lights in the trees, more carts / floats. There are a huge... Brilliant. The parade started as it does every year, with fire engines from the local brigade leading the charge, including this wonderful little thing that was made from a mobility scooter. And then the carnival could begin proper, and I'm going to give you a couple of clips of some of the highlights of this year's parade.
the sky on your mind. Flying, get on board. We're smiling on top of the world. Flying, get on board.
Well, that was something entirely different. I hope you enjoyed it. I find it a fascinating spectacle. The engineering, the way everything comes together, the lights, the dancing, it's just pretty cool. So with that, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, how about clicking somewhere over there for... I literally have no idea what I can link you to that's anything like this. So click something that YouTube recommends, I guess. Anyway, I've got to fight through 10 million people over here to get back to the car and back to the accommodation. So, yay. But if you haven't done it before, highly recommend checking out the Carnival down here in Burnham. It's phenomenal. It's just such a spectacle.